Let us stick here a little bit with Nigeria producing an estimated 55 million metric tons of food every year. Yet about 40% of that output is lost due to poor cold chain infrastructure. And that translates to an economic loss of over 3.5 trillion naira, roughly 8 billion US dollars every year. And that's according to the president of the Organization for Technology Advancement of Cold Chain in West Africa, Alexander Isong. He was speaking at an event earlier today in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. Meanwhile, the Lagos State Coordinator of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Omolara Abimbola, who represented the Minister of Agriculture, Abubakar Kyari, echoed the importance of training, particularly for rural farmers, in order to ensure their access to the necessary technology and knowledge that they need for improved food security.
Nigeria has a poor cold chain that is nascent, and we are trying to help the federal government and the state governments to be able to realize that and begin to grow the ecosystem in cold chain. Cold chain is what speaks to post-harvest losses, because Nigeria does 40% of post-harvest losses, which we are trying to bring down. And this translates to over 3.5 trillion naira when you put it in naira. And this is possible because we have a very poor cold chain infrastructure in Nigeria, which we are trying to address. With this program, where we've brought together industry experts, financiers, investors, and knowledge-based people to come and help us so that we can begin to articulate and build these things to help. Like the federal government is speaking about food security. Food security cannot be achieved in Nigeria without cold chain, because everybody knows when you go to the market to buy something, you store it in your fridge. Your refrigerator is actually cold chain. So what we are talking about cold chain in the larger sector is cold chain in big, large cold rooms, whereby we can now store produce that we harvest, and we can keep them to be sold at a later date. And without cold chain, Nigeria cannot meet certification in perishable food, because without that, we can't meet some certifications for us to be able to export those things to developed clients. And Nigeria can make a lot of money from selling our produce, like ginger, like garlic, like tomatoes, we have a lot of perishable goods that can be exported out of this country and to be able to make the country earn foreign exchange. So, as we know, agriculture for Nigeria, for me, is going to bring a lot of money to the economy, and I'm believing that the federal government knows that cold chain is a very important part of agriculture. Cold chain is not a fancy part of agriculture. Cold chain is an essence, a real tool in agric that will make Nigerian agric to grow, and will be able to cascade into more markets whereby we'll be accepted and our goods will be sold openly.
If we can get industries, especially people that are in mechanized industry sector, that can help us to use most of our produce into packaging, especially when you're talking about fruits, our oranges. My concern about cashew, we're always after the nuts, we're not thinking about the fruits. And from the fruits, we can make cashew drinks. These are technologies they're bringing in that can help us, rather than losing all those fruits. They are in millions of tons. Rather than losing them, these are technologies they're bringing in. And you know, the beautiful thing they're doing now is empowering Nigerians. Unlike before, that they bring this technology, they're not thinking of passing down the knowledge. So the orientation is changing. They themselves are thinking of coming down now to settle, to train our people, to give us the technology to work with. That makes a difference. And if we have that, wastages will reduce. And if wastages reduce, our farmers will have more income. Like the Federal Ministry of Agriculture now, training. In actual fact, training, they're keys of what we are looking into. And it's one of the reasons why I'm representing the minister. And you can listen to even what I just told you about greenhouses. If you can have knowledge, it's power. And if you can have power, and you are able to pass it, because the key thing is you just don't only acquire the knowledge or the technology, you also let those that are in need of it which are our rural farmers. If they can get to know about it and they make use of it, sustainability is number one, and at the end of the day, we reduce wastages.